Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to another podcast. This is episode 6 of the Toycat Show, an audio-only show I run on the second channel, where I talk about gaming news, business news, YouTube news, and a bunch of other stuff that I find particularly interesting. And as a result of a lot of you asking me to bring a guest on the show, I thought, you know what? What's the most Toycat-like guest experience I can get? So I found a British person by the name of Z1 and Only Gaming. I think you exist, right?
I think so.
I mean, if you're hearing him right now, he's not a voice in my head, and if you are hearing him, then that's great.
I won't tell you to do anything mean then.
Would you like to introduce yourself? Let people know what you are?
Yeah, why not? Well, we've done some stuff together in the past, haven't we? Obviously, I'm another Minecraft YouTuber like yourself. I think the last thing that we done was last Halloween, which is about a year ago now. Yeah, about a week off a year ago.
We met up for the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've been in each other's videos silently a couple of times, maybe.
We have.
In a couple of stuff. But yeah, I'm sort of you're more of the facts guy, and then I'm more of the physical guy.
See, I feel almost insulted. But what do you mean by physical guy? Like
I physically build.
Yeah.
You know, buildings. I'm a creative YouTuber more than a survival YouTuber.
And I'd say the opposite. We kind of have a symbiotic relationship because I'm also more of a civilized British person, whereas you're more of the out in the wilds in the wood, shooting the strangers on your land.
Oh yeah, I'm a nutter. I'm a nutter, and you wear your business suit.
So before we get into any gaming news, I'd like to know what the most recent animal you've picked up on your farm is.
The most recent animal that we've got.
Because you always have exciting ones.
Oh, yeah, we're always getting new ones. I think the newest one would actually be 2 chipmunks.
Chipmunks?
Yes, so I think we've got...
Okay, I'm going to keep this short.
We had another one after that as
well.
But
why chipmunks?
We have an aviary that we used to have lovebirds and budgies and finches in.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of years ago, we had a really, really cold winter, and it killed off like 95% of them. So we were left with like 4 finches for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought we'd just add some chipmunks to it.
Okay, no, that is not a story. That doesn't... Wait, that's like, was feeling a bit sad today, so I figured I'd go out and buy a boat. And it's like... Yeah. There's a missing link there, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, it's a true story.
Okay. Oh, it was just like, not enough birds, chipmunks. Like there wasn't even like you went to the pet store and just got the first thing. You literally thought birds are missing, replace with chipmunks.
Yeah, basically the same thing, right? You're trying to look after all the animals with all the fireworks that have been going on over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
They've been going nuts.
Animals seem to hate fireworks. I don't understand why, because like you'd figure a human would hate it way more because we think of gunshots, whereas animals just hear like, oh, loud thing, let's not be near that. Whereas humans should be like, oh god, someone's got a gun, run away from the gun.
Mind you, we think, oh, a gun. Oh, it's so pretty though.
That's true. I don't think cats appreciate prettiness enough. Anyway, let's get into the first news story because that's a thing I do on this show. If you're not familiar. It's the Call of Duty movie / TV show studios being set up. And I don't know what your Call of Duty experience is, but the single player of those games tends to be very much like a movie. I mean...
Yeah, I agree.
It's maybe like 50% playable, or it's a little bit more, but it's like it's the step below a Telltale game.
Yeah, it's very story driven. If you go around a friend's house and they're halfway through the campaign and you haven't played it, you have no idea what is going on.
Mm-hmm. And it's not to say that it's like this deep emotional story and all that sort of stuff, but it is just the cool moments. They're carefully scripted. You don't get cool moments because you go off and you find this cool thing in the corner that's like, this is a cool reference, like in Fallout. Instead, you're doing this awesome thing where you jump off a building and you just survive, and that's what makes the game awesome. So I think a movie. It would be a very generic movie, but it might be pretty cool. So,
I can't see it being a blockbuster hit. I mean, I can see it being popular amongst gamers, but then I can see the reviews being catastrophic.
I'm going to go the opposite route on this, because bear in mind, Call of Duty already sells more than a lot of movies. And then bear in mind, a lot of people might watch... Actually, no, that's a lie. A decent portion of people might watch it. And then if it's just a good standalone movie, because, if it's just a cool war movie, a lot of people are like, oh, let's go check that out. And I don't think it'd be reviewed well, but I think it would be one of those popular films like Transformers, where people are like, yeah, let's see the pretty colours sparkle.
I think if it's a generic war film, it will be good. I think if it tries to be a Call of Duty film, it will be bad.
If I had to guess, I'd say it would. Because if you don't, there's 3 Call of Duty universes right now, as I understand it. One for each studio. I think it would just take one of those studios, their games, and kind of take a property from it. So presumably, since Black Ops is the most popular, they'd be like, oh, let's take the Black Ops characters, let's extend the story past the end of it. I haven't seen the end yet, but presumably they can just do that.
I think it would be funny, instead of doing a serious Call of Duty film, I think it'd be better to do a parody Call of Duty film. So like, you have to shoot like 1 or 2 feet ahead of the person to be able to hit them, right? In the film, and then like you'll jump down off a building and you'll be near, and then you'll hear someone call your mum fat. Do you know what I mean?
See, now
a squeaky voice.
I think that's a great idea, and in fact, there isn't really any parody films out, is there? Like they all tend to take themselves seriously. So
it would be really cool to have a parody of an online game.
I feel as though that's better put in a YouTube video, though. And because imagine, like, you go to the cinema and you don't know if it's a parody. You get there and, they're calling your mum gay and you're like, haha, this is funny. But an hour later, you're like, okay.
What did I just watch?
Although if they're going for bad movie, they could... I think that's the best way to do it, So
in this Call of Duty movie...
Or TV
are they
series.
going to respawn when they die?
Oh, that's... I feel
or
as though...
is it going to be like a hardcore mode film?
See, the answer is no, but the answer should be yes. That
would be sick.
There should be a lot of ways like that, like the game, where they just don't take it too seriously, where it's like, oh, he died. That's a shame. No one gets sad. They have a funeral.
And then he just comes back 5 seconds later with a new class.
That should be like the ending, so that way they can have a serious movie, but then like have a little nod to people who like the show and just ruin it for everyone that was emotionally.
And instead of the ending credits, it just says like I don't know what the teams are on Call of Duty 3, but it'd be like Americans won round 2, and then it just ends with like a countdown to the next round on Nuketown in the background.
I like that idea a lot. I like that a lot. So that has to be. I think that's about all we can say about this. It sounds like it would be interesting, but bad. Is that?
It sounds like a joke, doesn't it?
It does.
You know what I mean?
It does.
Like,
or at the very least, just something they're saying to sound impressive, but not actually get anything done with.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Call of Duty since really Call of Duty 4, but I'm still a fan of the games. But I'm not going to be a fan of the film.
Have you played Black Ops 3? That's the big question here, then.
No, I haven't. No. Oh. I have. I'll be honest with you. I haven't even looked at a YouTube video of it. So, there is one thing that I saw that I really like, though. Is what apparently, from the looks of it, I saw a picture that you can paint your gun.
Oh, yeah, you can make your own custom paint on it.
See, I play Forza, where I can paint my car in a similar way.
Yeah.
With the circles and the squares and stuff like that. Call of Duty always had the emblems.
Yeah,
and I used to make some really sick looking 3D. My emblem was a 3D mic. You
used to make sick emblems. I used to make sick emblems. Like I don't want to go into too much because I don't want to go too out of the realm of PG. But there was a dolphin.
You had emblems that could get you banned.
Let's just say there was a hand and there was a dolphin, and they were in a suspicious. It looked very concerning to any anime
if I got that, I would never play a game. I would just make guns and just paint them in the coolest ways.
I feel as though you should pick up the game and do just that, like because you can share. I think you can share your paint things.
If you can share the paint designs, I might do it just for that.
Take up a third job selling paint designs on a backstory.
Exactly.
That's not a bad idea. Anyway, that's a new game. I'd recommend it. If you haven't watched any videos yet, youtube.com/ibxtoycat. Anyway, let's move on to the second story here, which it's I'm actually going to change it right on the fly to be the YouTube loan thing. Have you heard anything about this?
I have read up on it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. You gave me a link to it the other day, or this morning, wasn't it?
It might have been this morning. I forget. My time's been a bit distorted for me recently.
Yeah, and I clicked on it and I read the page, and the first thing I thought was, this is going to make a lot of people in a lot of debt.
A lot of debt to YouTube. And
Yeah.
isn't that convenient for YouTube?
Because I clicked on the link because it says get a quote, and I was like, well, I'll have a look to see what details we can get. And it's not even from YouTube. It's literally a loan site.
So I'll quickly explain the details to everyone listening that's like, so what are these YouTube loans? So basically YouTube has launched a new service. I forget the name of the lender, but it's the name of the lender. And it's like, oh, you can get a loan to finance your YouTube channel. And the cool thing about it, because it does have one really awesome thing going, because it's kind of just branded loans from this other company. But the thing that makes it really cool is if YouTube invite you in some way, I don't know how hard the invitation is to get, as long as you increase your uploads and watch time in a year, so the year after you take out the loan, as long as by the end of the next year you have increased your watch time and uploads, you get a 5% rebate on the loan, which essentially, because the loans range from like 5% interest to like 20%, depending on how bad your credit is, essentially means you get an interest-free loan, which to me that sounds like kind of a cool thing. It's like YouTube backing your loan. So if you, because lots of channels these days are expensive to start. Like we play Minecraft, where we invest in a capture card, a mic, and all this stuff, and it's kind of expensive, but it's reasonable.
Not anymore, is it?
But,
I mean, I remember when I bought my first capture card a couple of years ago. It was like 130 quid. And that was for the cheapest one. That was for the cheapest Roxio. And now you can pick up like an Elgato.
See, here's the funny thing. I can go even older school than that. When I got my first capture card, it was £40, and that was for the higher end one at the time, because there was one. It was called the Easy Cap. You could buy it for like $8. And it's garbage. It's garbage. They're both garbage. But they were almost valid at the time. Like HD was only just
I was looking at them when I started my channel.
You'd be glad you didn't pick them up. It was such a mess. Anyway, to not go too old school on that one. Yeah, it used to be, you buy a £40 capture card, and then you could probably use your existing PC. Now, you need to get a good mic. You need to get an all-right PC at the very least if you want to render this at any decent quality. You need an Elgato at HD60, which is going to cost you at least $100. And it's like, geez, maybe we take out a YouTube loan for this.
But the minimum loan is 30,000.
Wait, the minimum is 30.
I thought it was between 30 to 300.
I
didn't read it that much, but I saw 30,000 and I saw 300,000. And even if I wanted to borrow £1,000, with £1,000 I could buy everything for YouTube.
Okay, I've got the page here. It says up to. So there's two types. If you have a YouTube channel which already makes over 75,000, they'll lend you.
You don't need a loan.
Basically.
But you earn $75,000 in a year. You don't need a loan.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And there's if you do, you can get up to 300,000. Which I could see that, like, if you're Freddie W, let's say. That'd be
with $1,000. You could get a computer for 500, a capture card for 100, a microphone for, let's say, 150, and these are all decent.
Okay, but what I'm saying here is like real production channels. Like we're gaming channels, which is on the cheaper end, but there are channels that do real things of real cameras and stuff that adds up fast, like having a staff member, all that sort of stuff. But if you have a regular,
but when would that even work? Let's okay, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I want to do really like good quality short films, like 25-minute or whatever, films, really high quality, really cool visual CGI. Okay, let's find a username that hasn't been used. Okay, I've got one. Let's create my YouTube account. Okay, let's take out a £30,000 loan.
See, but the way I see it, because this is up to 35,000, so you can take out like 1,000, I assume, or whatever. Like, it doesn't say a minimum, and there probably is some, but it's probably quite low. I assume this is just like, if you want to be creative and you're in a situation in your life where you just cannot, it's a place people get to. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you believe in yourself, you believe you can do this. I think it's a terrible idea to do it, but if it is your dream, YouTube are going to enable it, and then you're going to be in lots of YouTube debt because you probably, statistically, you won't be able to pay it back.
It's a scam, isn't it, really?
I reckon YouTube are making some good money on this, yes. But I reckon the channels they're giving 5% off to, they're losing money on. Because that 5% rebate is coming from them. So on a 300,000 loan, 5%, 15,000, that's quite a lot to basically finance.
But pretty much, I know there's exceptions, but pretty much the law of YouTube is in year 2 you do better than year 1, unless you're doing something catastrophically wrong.
I don't see how
you're
anyone
going to go better anyway.
So that it's just basically it's cheap loans at that point then. Which I guess it's nice that they're offering.
Unless it's a minimum percentage, it doesn't say a specific. If it's your channel needs to expand by 1,000%.
It's very vague and just says increase it.
Yeah, but all loans are vague, aren't they?
They're
not going to put it all on a plate.
Okay, even if it says double it, I mean, most channels are going to be double by the end of their second year.
Yeah.
Or you know, even if you're 6 months in, then it's of course you're going to double it. Like, I feel as though, the 5% is guaranteed. I think that's cool. So yeah, YouTube is funding creators with low interest / almost interest free loans, and I think that's cool. And Zona thinks it's ridiculous. Is that about right?
That sounds about right.
Anyway, let's move on to the third story here, which if you watch any other videos on this channel, you'll either be really annoyed or really happy with, because there is a new Hearthstone expansion, which was just revealed and is coming out on Thursday?
Yes.
Thursday. So, it's coming out on Thursday, which it's really fast to just go from announcement to reveal in 5 days, something like it's just a surprise announcement, and there's a bunch of new cards, more than any other expansion. I'm going to go through some of them and talk about them. So, if you don't like your Hearthstone, just pretend that we're being silent for a few minutes. So,
I don't think anybody knows that I play Hearthstone.
Oh, is this the secret reveal, the exclusive Toy Cat Show story?
Yeah.
But is there any card in particular you want to point out and be like, that's ridiculous, or that's ridiculous?
Well, what if we pick like one from each? So, is there anything in Druid that stands out to me? Not really.
Oh, the Raven. Okay, all these cards stand out to me because. So Jungle Moonkin, it's 4/4, right?
Yep.
So it's okay for a full match, but spell damage +2 on a druid is amazing. Like every druid spell
makes swipes very powerful.
Swipe 6 damage to one enemy, 3 damage to others.
And 4 health, because a 4/4 for 4 is terrible.
No,
like, it's not great. 4/4 for 4 ain't good.
You should expect a 4/5. Yeah.
You've got a Yeti for 4/5, but with the spell damage +2, I think it's the right mana cost
plus
for it.
a beast. Plus it's a beast. Which a lot of druid cards are beast based now. So,
but then a swipe then deals 6 damage and 2 to everything else. Is that right?
3 to everything else.
And 3 to everything else. Yeah,
yep.
Of course it is.
And,
so that is pretty nuts.
Then there's also cards like Moonfire, which costs 0 and does 3 damage with this on the board. Like I think spell damage druid is possible now, and also Raven Idol. So this is the new Discover mechanic where it basically gives you 3 cards to pick from. Basically, it's just draw a card, but you get to pick the card to some extent. That sounds nice. If you're playing a late game deck and you're not using turn 1 anyway.
I think one of the most powerful is the Explorer's Hat in Hunter.
Oh, that
is really powerful because with Hunter,
they have
if it's face Hunter or mid range, that's going to be powerful. 2 mana is quite expensive for what it does, but with the death rattle of putting another one to you.
See, the thing is, it's not even worth 1 cost to give a minion +1/+1. It's worth a little bit less than 1. If it was just give 1/1/1, you wouldn't play. But
imagine that card alone, Explorer's Hat alone, increases face Hunter in the late game. If a face hunter hasn't won by turn, that was close, wasn't it? If a face hunter hasn't won by turn 7, then the face hunter's lost because it's out of steam. With an Explorer's Hat in hand, they can play a minion, buff it 1/1, which probably around 60% of the time is going to put it out of range of another minion on the other, a single minion on the other side.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying, and I think it's going to have some value in Face Hunter, but just the fact that you're paying 2 mana each time means that you can't use this till like turn 4 anyway, because your 2 mana is
think of Hunter late game. Like the most expensive Hunter card that you're ever really going to use is the High Mane, which is 6 mana.
But at least in the Face Hunter I run, there is not a single card that costs more than 3. If they're not dead by turn 5, they're not dying.
So instead of throwing out all of your cards and running out of steam early, you can give one an Explorer Hat, which gives you another one.
The trick is, the reason the deck works is because you're just spewing it all out and you just hope it wins. Like that. Well, Explorer's Hat is nice to have, but if you draw it too early, if you draw it on turn 2, it's waste.
Oh, if you draw it on turn 2, it's completely... But mind you, I suppose the earlier you get it doesn't matter, because if there's nothing else that you can do on that turn, like you've drawn some terrible cards, like you've drawn a couple of Hunter's Marks too early that you don't want, and then you draw that, you put that onto your minion, suddenly you have something to do the next turn.
I feel as though it's got potential, but not as much potential. I feel as though we'll see it, but we won't see it so much. So it's the best card they have out of the set, but yeah. It might make Spell Hunter a thing, because you can use this over and over. Oh, yeah, because, there's Lock and Load. If you combine these two cards, you get Insanity. But, I don't know, I'm not too impressed. But anyway, the Mage set, the one that interests me the most here is your hero can only take 1 damage at a time, which is Animated Armor.
Yeah.
Again, it's 4 for the 4/4, so it's not as good as it could be, but it means it's basically Taunt, and against Face Hunter again.
If you stick that behind, like a Sludge Belcher, then you're in some real trouble.
Why would you wouldn't need a Sludge Belcher, right? Because if you have this... Oh, actually...
It's not a taunt itself, is it? It's just full health.
Yeah, but if you have a taunt, then your face isn't at damage. So, you get what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
Although if they're playing Hunter, like... this is an anti-face Hunter card.
Well, ironically, that this card is going to do best against Freeze Mage.
Yep.
Because Freeze Mage is all about getting Alexstrasza, doing 15 damage to the opponent's face, then the next turn doing Fireball, Ping, and you basically win. Okay, so you could, well, no, it's not. It's Fireball, Frostbolt.
That's the one,
to do 16 damage on the turn after Alexstrasza-ing.
Mm-hmm. But the thing about this is I think Alexstrasza does, like, it sets it to 15, so this makes it immune from Alexstrasza, and even after that, you could just use Alexstrasza to trade with this and then do the same thing. Like, I think it's gonna be good somewhere. I don't see where though. Like,
well, the only trouble with these types of cards is that as soon as you put them down, they just get destroyed.
If something doesn't do something good when you play it, it probably doesn't do anything good ever.
Yeah.
Especially if it does something good afterwards, they want to kill it extra hard.
Something with this this new expansion is that they look to be wanting to bring back the Murloc deck.
Oh, because you're seeing anything can happen, right?
there's I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah. There's 2 Murloc spells and a Murloc neutral, if I'm right. Oh,
yes.
It's 2. Yeah, 1 Murloc neutral. So I guess first of all, anything can happen. A Paladin card. Summon 7 Murlocs at the time of this game.
See, in a Murloc deck, that's sick.
Again, though, 10 mana cost.
Like, 10 mana for 7 minions? That's
but,
great, dude.
But okay, so the idea of a Murloc card deck is it's the same thing as Face Hunter, right? Just spew the cards out and they can't deal with it all. By turn 10, the one exception is if you specifically set it up so that you have 2 charges, all the charges you can get, and then all the ones that buff your Murlocs. If you summon 7 of those, then you can kill them in 1 turn. So yeah. I reckon there might be a strategy to just surviving till turn 10 and playing all the Murlocs you can. But besides that, it's going to be fun, not good. Fun, not good, I'd say.
Fun, not good. Can I be really rude and ask for a quick advertisement break? Because I really need the toilet.
Anyway, so in the meantime, while we wait for the one and only to empty his bladder, I will say that this is in response to people who are like, you should maybe bring in a guest. So if you want him to be more of a permanent thing, you type something in the comments down below. And if you don't want it to be, now's the best time for me to let you know. So just put something down there, and then we'll find out afterwards. And then I'll ask him, and I'll be like, "What? The comment section's asked for it," or I'll say, "Oh, the comment section hate you, so I better stop talking to you forever." So you're the best way to do this. Anyway, I'll just jump cut to whenever he gets back.
It's just going through me like a racehorse.
Going through you like a racehorse. I haven't heard that expression before.
Really?
Nah. Well, it doesn't make any sense, because, if there was a racehorse inside you, it one, wouldn't be running through at a fast pace, and 2, you'd be dead because you'd be the size of a racehorse.
That is true.
If it's a miniature racehorse, it'd be dissolved still. But if we assume that, it's a imaginary racehorse, I still don't imagine it could run at that angle,
No. I had a friend in school, his life goal was to run through a horse. It's the only thing he wanted to do in life. He just wanted to run clean through a horse.
Like, at such a speed that it cut the horse in half.
Exactly. That was his life goal.
Did anyone ever tell him it was impossible?
No, but it's still his life goal.
Because I feel as though even if you're a motorbike going at, 100, it's going to be a challenge. Or not a challenge, but it's going to take some force.
Well, I don't think you'd make it, would you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Wait, same person that actually thought that if he jumped off a tall enough building, he would grow wings before he hit the bottom. He was one of those guys.
Okay. So, there's no proof that him particularly wouldn't grow wings if he didn't.
That's true, yeah, I suppose.
I mean, there is a chance you're horribly wrong and your friend's the genius here, but let's just assume that. Anyway, so I'm just going to jump cut back with where I was up. Okay, so we're back, and AJ is back from his bathroom and biscuit break.
Yeah.
And we're going to go for a little bit more cards and then go to the last section of the show, which is exclusive while we have a guest, because I can't ask myself questions. Well, I can, but
Well, you can.
some
You
people
sort of know the
question my sound.
answer.
Yeah, exactly. So, lots of Murloc cards. I'm just going to scroll down to some of the neutrals, because there are a few I really want to talk about, and they're kind of hilarious. So, have you seen Brand Bronzebeard?
Bronzebeard.
Fourth on the row from the first row. But your battle cry is triggered twice. That sounds like it's just going to be fun.
We've already got a card that...
Death Rattle, yeah. But
Death Rattle.
But it's a much worse stat line, and it's more expensive. Like, it's 1/7 for 4. Whereas 3 for 2/4, it's playable-ish, and then you can battle cry and get lots of fun, I think. Because, think about joust cards. You can guarantee you win a joust if you do it twice. Think about, there's a lot of cards that get really powerful buffs on their battle cries.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of a really good example.
You've got the demon that gains 2/2 for whenever your hero takes damage on that turn. As soon as that you're
that's not a battle cry though. That's
that's an inspire.
A good one though that you just remind me of. I think it's a demon. Oh no, it's a dragon. Oh wait, it's neither. It's a 4/1, but every card you have in your hand gives it +1 health. So if you get plus
dragon,
if you take it up to +8 health and it goes 4/9, you go to +8 health again and 4/17, which for 4 mana, given that you can play that on turn 3, turn this and 4/17, pretty good.
Decent. On the other hand, I think the worst card in the entire expansion is Ancient Shade. 4 mana, 7/4. Battle Cry. Shuffle an Ancient Curse in your deck that deals 7 damage to you when drawn. Now, that's a terrible card for multiple reasons. One, 4 health is just terrible.
I feel as though it is designed for aggressive decks. Because if you're a Face Hunter, like I said, I don't run any 4s right now.
You would not run in a Face Hunter deck. You would not run something that could potentially deal 7 damage to you. You're so vulnerable.
Oh, but you're kind of not, because they're so busy dealing with your cards on your board, like this one, that
I think the only way that would be made good would be 5 mana, 7/4 with the curse, but it has charge. If it had charge...
Oh my god, no, that's that would be overpowered.
Charge for 5 mana, 7 attack. Think of a...
it would have to be 6 or 7.
A Fireball is 6 damage for 4 mana.
Yeah, and this is...
and that's 5 mana for 7 damage.
But then you
got 4 health.
Then you keep a 7/4 on the board, which is worth more than...
Yeah, but think of pretty much any removal card can get rid of that. And if it can't get rid of it, then there's going to be a minion on the board that can.
Yeah, that's
in addition to it.
I think the place where this gets really, really... I just think, you play this turn 4, you require them to take it out. That's what this is. This is a kill this now, or I kill you.
Yeah, but it's easy to take out. 4 mana, 7/4... On the next turn, they just put down a Shredder. Suddenly, they've got a 4 mana card with 4 attack, 3 health that spawns another minion that kills this minion, and you've got a card in your deck that deals 7 damage to yourself.
I'm not... Okay, yeah, this card's garbage. But it's not the worst, because the worst, in my opinion, because it's so horribly impractical. You might not understand it just on the card text, but I think it's been revealed how it works. It is the... Elise Star Seeker. So middle, top row. It's a 3/5 battle cry. Shuffle the map to the Golden Monkey into your deck. When you find that map to the Golden Monkey in your deck, one of the random 30 cards in there, it puts a Golden Monkey into your deck. Once you find that Golden Monkey in your deck, you get a 6/6 taunt, which is pretty good by itself. That's very much worth playing, and it replaces your entire hand and deck with legendary minions. So it's a hilariously fun card.
It's only good in a self-mill deck, or a fatigue game.
Yep. So
the 2 corners of the game that don't really exist but are there.
And even then, even in the best of cases scenarios, you're still going to have to go through your whole deck and not
dead
die.
Before then.
Yeah. So I think that's bad for that reason. We also have power creep in Hearthstone because the Murloc Tiny Fin. One, it's the cutest card in the expansion.
I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
And two, it is a Wisp but with the Murloc tag, which means it's technically better. Although this means that the Wisp is not killed by Hungry Crab, but the Murloc Tiny Fin is, actually, wait, genius idea.
But that's only going to be used in the Murloc deck, isn't it?
Play this on turn 0, or wait, on turn 1, play this, then play Hungry Crab, and you get that's like strategy.
Real nice combo.
Yeah, that's
like a 3/4?
Yeah, it gets +2
on turn 1.
Yeah, 3/4 turn 1. That and it for 2 cards. That's not horrendous at all.
I mean, you're being able to compete with a druid with innovate on the first go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they innovate into a shredder with a coin too, and you're still taking it out.
Yeah, and you're taking it out, and they've wasted 2 cards for your Wisp.
Yeah, when you say it like that.
The only trouble is I think this Murloc Tiny Fin is now going to obliterate the Wisp being the worst card in Arena to make it even worse. When Wisp is worse than that.
See, I feel as though in Arena you still want Wisp a little bit more because
Wisp is according to Hearthstone itself is the worst card to draw in Arena.
I happen to know the worst card is Bolster. At least the worst card in... Yeah, I think that the worst card if you include class specifics is Bolster for Warriors, which it's give your taunt minions +2/+2 for 2. Yeah, which is it's okay if you have only taunt minions. But
it's like a terrible Houndmaster.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing that makes it so awful is like in Arena you don't get to pick your cards, so you can't make that synergy. And whereas a Wisp, because in Arena you just want to have stuff. I think it's okay-ish, vaguely, kind of, if you have no other good options.
As long as you're not against a mage, I suppose it's alright.
Yeah. Well, even if you're against a mage, even a 2/1 is.
I don't know.
So much better.
I would rather have the Ancient Shade 7/4 that deals 7 damage to me than a Wisp.
Ooh. And you did go off on how bad that card. So does that mean your official worst card in the expansion is Murloc Tiny Fin?
No, Wisp. Oh. No, the worst card in the expansion is Ancient Shade. Murloc, it's a Murloc. It's gonna bring the Murloc deck back, which was the most annoying deck to ever play against.
I will agree.
Like even today, nobody's prepared to play against the Murloc deck because it's just not in the meta anymore.
Well, I mean
it just kills everything.
You can argue with a lot of decks like that, where it's like, well, no one expects them. You just kill them, and that's kind of how tournaments work. We were just discussing. So, that's this expansion. I think we spoke for far too long about it. In general, sounds awesome and has lots of bad cards and lots of interesting cards.
It's hard to tell on an expansion that nobody's played with yet.
Yeah,
there'll probably be
always
some really sick synergies that will probably bug out a lot of the game. Like when Secret Paladin came out, it sort of has thrown the game into an evil spiral.
This makes Secret Paladin better, and that's what hurts me.
That's the trouble. Yeah,
it takes the most overpowered deck in the game, and instead of nerfing it, it makes it more powerful.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Anyway, that's the end of Hearthstone talk for now. So you can open your ears again if you don't play Hearthstone, and I guess we'll move on to the last little section, which is exclusive to guest talk. So you're the very first one for me to try this on.
Amazing.
So you're special. So. This is a question we were almost talking about a little bit before, but it is a very important one, especially for a YouTuber, because it is, would you rather have no fingers or no eyes? That's the question here. Because no fingers?
Either way, you're no longer a YouTuber.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. Well, you can be at fingerless... Because... I'm picturing
what? You can't edit your videos.
Vlogger.
You can't edit them.
Vlogger.
You can't start recording it.
I mean, you can have a family member edit them for you. Yeah, editing's not hard.
Well, you're no longer the YouTuber then, no are you?
Well, I mean,
you're then an actor in a production team.
PewDiePie doesn't edit his own videos.
No, nor does Captain Sparkles.
And by the same logic, just skip to that stage on your YouTube right now. Like, I mean, I don't think YouTube takes that long to edit if it's just a vlog channel. You could get it done, is what I'm saying. Whereas if you're blind, like, video games entirely off the table, right?
I suppose if you were blind, you'd never get disheartened by the amount of dislikes.
Unless you have one of the phone, like it reads out everything on your phone, because I know that's what
a braille monitor.
And you just 20,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a genuine thing I think blind people do, where they have smartphones, but they have it reads it out to them, and you're going for the negative comments, and you can't just stop reading because it's just your phone bugs out. It's like, screw you, you fag, screw, and just all these horrible things.
Just constantly going. No, I think I would rather have no fingers, because at least you could get artificial limbs. I know you can get artificial eyes, but they're a lot more expensive than fingers.
Wait, I don't think you can get artificial eyes. I think you can get... Oh, actually...
No, you can. Yeah.
It's the cornea that's exclusive, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, well... Artificial... Yeah, I'd go...
As long as you had money, then you'd have to lose your fingers.
If we can assume one of these can be artificial, I would go with no fingers. I'd keep my fingers, sorry. Because, the motor skills I've developed to play games has taken me, 18, 19... 20 years. So how long I've been playing video games?
Still terrible. So, starting all again.
Exactly right. I don't have another 40 years to it. But in all sorts, it's taken me that long. Whereas my eyes, I have to upgrade these eyes every morning, or I can't see. And it's I could kill two birds with one stone. Maybe I should take out my eyes anyway.
Just do it anyway.
I mean, in a few years there'll be some bionic eyes.
Maybe you can put lasers in it, like an X-Men or something.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be cool? Replace one eye with a laser. I can still see everything.
I don't look cool ass, wouldn't you? With a bionic eye.
So I guess the question is, should we just get bionic eyes anyway? Go to the surgery together, get an awesome thing done. I think that's something worth looking at.
Would you have two or one?
If they look normal, I'd go with two, because then you could probably do some cool free... I imagine if you have two sensors, you can probably... your eyeballs could work out the distance of something, so you could be how far away is that? 42 meters, yeah. Whereas, one camera can't work out.
But on the other side, if you only had one, you could be the world's first bionic pirate with an eye patch on the other one.
Okay, I've decided. I'm going to be the bionic pirate who makes Minecraft videos. That's my goal.
While you're there, take your leg off, have a bionic wooden leg.
A bionic wooden leg?
Yeah. That has an iPod dock in it.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they sell those. I haven't checked.
I don't know if they sell eyes either.
Well, I mean, in the UK, we're lucky, but bear in mind, health does cost money in the rest of the world. Yeah. Suckers! We go out and get hit by cars for fun. You can't do that in America.
Crash and claim.
Anyway, so I believe you had a question for me. If you remember,
I did.
Now is the time.
Okay, so if you were in a square or cubed room, that had a mirror on the floor, a mirror on the ceiling, and a mirror on all four sides that was seamless, so you couldn't tell where the mirrors ended. What would you see? Obviously, if you stood and you looked in the mirror, you would be able to see yourself, yeah?
Yep.
But what would you see behind you?
The back of your head.
No, not if you're standing right in front of the mirror in front of you.
Well, if you're standing right in front of the mirror, all you can see is your eyes. If you stand further back from the mirror...
You wouldn't be able to see the back of your head, though. Because the reflection of the front of you would be blocking the mirror behind you.
This is hurting to think about.
So what would you see behind you?
No, because you'd... So you'd see... I guess what would happen... This is my making it up as I go along science. Because I'm trying to picture what the rest of the room would be like. Because there's enough... I assume that if there's no light, because a mirror doesn't create any light... it doesn't...
If you had no light, then you wouldn't even be able to see yourself.
Wait, where's the light source coming from, actually?
It's on your head.
Okay,
so... It's a head torch.
So I'm wearing a miner's hat in this place.
It's a really powerful one.
I assume that the only light that is in the room just goes everywhere. So, I see full screen in every direction, me. Whichever...
Yeah, you would anyway. Whatever mirror you looked in, you would see you... But it's what's behind you.
What I'm saying is it takes up everything.
The mirror is reflecting the mirror, which is reflecting the mirror, which is reflecting
the mirror.
Yeah,
and what I'm saying is full screen, all I can see in any direction is me. even though I don't take up that much space, it reflects enough, and it goes through all these.
You think that you'd see like a billion of you?
Not a billion, just a stretched, warped version of me.
Only if you were standing and looking at it at an angle would you see that. If you were standing right in front of a mirror,
standing right in front, then
and you just imagine looking in your bathroom mirror.
Okay, I can.
And you're dead in front of your bathroom mirror. All you can see is you, and then the wall behind you.
Yeah,
you can't see multiples of you. And if you get a mirror,
you can. I've stood in front of two mirrors before.
Yeah, if you stand in front of two, like if you go to the hairdressers and they put a mirror behind you at an angle, you can see the back of your head.
But if you don't angle it.
But if it's right directly behind you, you can't see that mirror.
See, now...
And even if the mirror's big enough, you only see the reflection of the wall in front of you.
Now, oh man.
You know what my hypothesis is?
What is your hypothesis?
I think it would be white. I think the light would reflect the light, which would reflect... Because the mirrors are only reflecting light. There's nothing else to reflect. So I think the light would almost magnify through each mirror.
So it'd just
instantly.
be white.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can think it could be.
See, we have the same rough logic, but instead you think it's just going to repeat so much it turns white. I think it's just going to be a warped, like, my hair is brown. I'm just going to see a big brown blur with, like, some eyes in there somewhere. And I guess let's go test it. Do you have a mirror room anywhere?
We need to do this.
Well, the thing is, there's no way to test this because... Actually, no, Actually, it is, yeah. So,
yeah, you can do it.
How much does a mirror cost? Like a big, full, like, meter-by-meter mirror.
I don't know, not expensive. You probably pick one up at a discount store for like 50 quid.
I'll Google now. Mirror wall.
We just need 6 of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just get 2 bigger... Okay, so...
Put a head torch on, stand in it. I don't know, maybe we'd warp in time or something like that.
What if that's the secret to
breaks physics?
Well, I mean, it would, because there's no light inside... The light is... Oh, man, that hurts to think about.
It's only... You'll only see you, but then reflections of the reflection of nothing.
So, because I happen to know the comments section has a science degree, use your physics and let us know what happens. I know 80% of the responses will be wrong, but there'll be the cream that floats to the surface, and whoever's right gets... Neither of us are right, let's be honest. It's probably something really lame, like you just see silver, because I know that's not what a mirror actually is, but...
Well, mirrors are green.
No.
Yeah, mirrors are green. The technical light that reflects off a mirror is green, so you might see green behind you. That's the scientific thing.
No, mirrors are white.
Nope, they're green.
Oh, wait, okay, so...
I guarantee you 100% they're green.
Real mirrors aren't... a perfect mirror is white, but a real mirror isn't perfect, and their surface gives reflection a very slight green tinge.
Yeah, so if it's reflecting green on reflecting...
that means then, if you're using imperfect human mirrors, which is what we have, you just see green.
Yes, I expect that... Green or white. I don't think the green would be even green enough to be able to be noticed as green.
Man.
I think it would be so close to white that we wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
Again,
but still, it doesn't even answer the question, does it?
I think the comments section has got us covered here. Like I said, I hear they have science degrees down there, so we'll ask them what their opinion is, and then I'll get back to you with this. But for now, we have been talking for more than double the usual length for podcasts, so it was great having you on the Toy Cat Show.
I'd love to come back soon.
While you were gone, I asked the comment section to sneakily...
I knew you'd ask. I knew that there would be something. I wasn't going to ask. I was going to wait until it was uploaded, and then I could listen to it, and then I would have been able to go on a huge rant about you talking behind my back. What did you ask?
I was like, so you want Zola to come back on again? You want more of this? Or do you hate him? You can... If I ask you now, then it's not awkward for him. And now I'm asking you just to, kind of ruin everything I've accomplised. Or maybe I can edit that out now. Who knows? Only the viewers know. Ooh.
Well, I'll know. I'll go to the timestamp.
Have you ever... we should be going, but we'll waste a minute more quickly. Have you ever listened back to an old episode on the Get Blocked ones?
Yes.
The reason I invited you on was because I watched the episode 9 or something, the most recent one you were on, and that there was something very weird about listening So like, we had a lot of dialogue. Like, we had like a 2-minute back and forth, and I was laughing at it, and I was like, "Am I allowed to laugh at what's 50% me, or is that?"
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's a bit
like
weird
laughing at your own joke, isn't it?
I laughed at this thing I said. I was like, oh, well, because we were talking about worms, and I'm like, oh, I really love the third dimension. I think it's the best dimension. And I'm like, oh, go you, Toy Cat. That's great.
It's so clever. It's like laughing at your own jokes is the worst. I told my fiance yesterday. I've got her in fits about it whenever I say it, and now as soon as I said it to myself, I was in total fits. You know the octopus in the ocean, the giant one.
The giant octopus, yes.
Yeah. What's its name?
The giant octopus?
No, it's the Kraken, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You know the Kraken?
The Kraken, yeah.
Giant octopus, squid, whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
The original poems, way back hundreds of years, it was actually meant to be the Kraken. Because the old poems used to say, the Kraken has awakened in the deep abyss, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say, the Kraken has a whacken.
For God's sake.
And every time I just think of that to myself, I just burst out laughing for hours.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I feel genuinely...
We're meant to say, the Kraken takes down the pirate ships in the deep abyss. But the Kraken has a whacking. It just sounds so much better.
Well, that's my justification for calling it the Kraken now. So
yeah.
I learned something new there. Anyway, it was nice having you on. The comment section shall evaluate your performance and let us know what a mirrored room looks like. Anyway, For now, nice speaking to you. And second channel, don't care. Goodbye.